Okay, and it looks like we are live. So, I'm just gonna package up my computer here, and let's go for a walk. Stay. All right, so can I see anybody's comments? This is gonna be a toughie. Looks like I can. All right, cool. Let's do it. So good morning. Good morning. All right. So today we're gonna go ahead and do the walking tour, and I think I might do it again a little bit later today at noon as well, since we're not gonna have Bridgie around. Good morning, Rochelle. Good morning, Nasia. Hello, Fern. Good morning, Barbie. So we got some cleaning going on right now. I don't think there's any more feeding going on, but man, it was a busy morning here, and everybody's up and moving. It is beautiful weather right now. So if you can hear me okay, just let me know in the chat. Just want to make sure that all that's working. And we have the beautiful Bridgie here cleaning out a water bowl. Looks like she has a very good oversight.
Good help is hard to find here.
Yeah. I see Duchess is telling you exactly what to do. All right, let's go see Duchess. Yeah, so since Bridge and I aren't coming in on Saturday and I have the day off, I figured, well, the office day, then all my paperwork's done. Figured, hey, why not come in and see if I can live a little bit. So let's talk about the cats.
Duchess is a female tiger. We don't know how old she is. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015 with 3 other big cats after being confiscated by the Ohio Department of Agriculture. Her owner had failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio Dangerous Animals law that just required decent caging and registering the animals. That law was passed after a man named Terry Thompson in 2011 let 56 dangerous animals, including 38 big cats, out of their cages and then killed himself. As dusk approached, sheriff's deputies sadly had to shoot most of the animals. Duchess is a real beauty who enjoys stalking golf carts as they ride by her enclosure. She loves enrichment, especially spices like apple pie and pumpkin, and bloodsickles. She is a favorite of our tour guests, as she often positions herself perfectly for photos. She's also great with operant conditioning and very smart. Her favorite game is stalking keepers in the morning before breakfast. She leaps out over her tree stump at them, and she has one of the best chuffs, a noise tigers make as a greeting.
All right, so that's the story of Duchess. I know many of you already know it, and this is only going out to supporters. Of course, all you know it. Let's see. So a couple things. I don't know about Nikita's tree. More than likely, it'll come out of there fairly soon. Obviously, many of you know we don't just we can't just go in there. So if the cage needs maintenance or anything, we'll go get it out. What else? What else? Daniel, you got to tell me on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday before I'm here. Just shoot me a message. Actually, here, can I just friend me on Facebook? I think we are friends on Facebook. Just shoot me a message. Let me know, and I'll be happy to buy paint. All right, so moving along. Got some Valentine's Day Duchess level destruction going on here. Man, that girl, she knows how to party. And then what else? Yes, please make the call of the wild. Text cats to 52886. We obviously, oh man, this camera mount on my head is a bit painful. Hold on just a second, gang. All right, let's try that. I have the camera on a clip on my hat, applying pressure to my glasses, and glasses did not like that. Should probably tighten my hat. Duchess level destruction. That girl can put something in there made of cardboard and it's boom. It's like an explosion. Alright, I don't see a survey. Cool part about this is you guys are looking at what I'm looking at. So that's kind of fun. I tried to figure out a way to free up both hands while doing this. So I can have the stories in one hand, your comments in the other, and everything's taken care of. The chest mount was good, but I gotta walk sideways half the time, and then I'm like tripping over roots, and that's no fun for anyone. I must have missed that comment. She doesn't have much room to roam. Are we referring to Nikki? Justin, Shaw baby, stick with us, buddy. You're gonna see some pretty interesting things here. So maybe we should start there for anybody that hasn't really watched too many videos of ours. And last I knew, this was only going out to supporters, but that's cool. Few things that you should know. Our enclosures are gigantic. Also, no concrete slabs anywhere. Now, why is this important? Well, you gotta think about it like this. In the wild, these cats are not built to sleep on concrete. Actually, that's kind of a bad move because that develops sores on them and it hurts them after a while. So when it does come to things like that, like laying on concrete, we just don't do that. Now, even their dens here, we put in new sand every so often when we go in there. We plant new grass, really take care of an awful lot. And their food doesn't come off of an old truck of disgusting meat. Actually, their food here is the highest quality food that we can buy for these cats, which is actually some pretty awesome stuff. You can walk into our freezer and if you really wanted to, you can grab that zoological mush, slap it on the grill, go crazy. Would not recommend it though. It's gonna ground up everything of an animal. Oh, hello. We're very talkative right now, aren't we? So we'll get to more of the cages in just a little bit, but let's see here. Oh yeah, Simba.
Simba is a male savanna cat born around 2005.
Wrong Simba. Yeah, I know. I gotta find the right audio.
Simba the tiger was rescued from a circus in Guatemala. We believe he was born in 2010. He came to us with two other male tigers, Max and Kimba. At the circus, these tigers were fed chicken feet as their primary diet. This does not give them the nutrition they need. Many circus tigers are very closely related due to inbreeding.
What?
And they often suffer spinal deformities from the lack of nutrition, inadequate ability to move around, being forced into unnatural poses for circus acts, and being so inbred. These three tigers all have arches in their spines that we do not see in our other cats. In the circus, the full-time living space for these circus tigers was only about the size of a queen-size bed. Because it is such a cruel life, 27 countries ban circus acts that use wild cats. In the U.S., there are 7 states and 149 other localities in 39 states that have passed various restrictions or bans involving the use of wild animals in circuses. The circus was banned by law in Guatemala thanks to efforts made by Animal Defenders International. Hermanos Ponce Circus resisted turning over the animals, but ADI eventually managed to get them to relinquish their tigers. ADI cared for the tigers in a temporary facility, while Big Cat Rescue worked to obtain the import permit needed to bring 3 of them, Simba, Max, and Kimba, to their permanent home here. They finally arrived on November 25th, 2019. Of the 3 tigers, when they arrived at Big Cat Rescue, Simba proved to be the extrovert in the group.
Is that your tree?
When the door of his travel crate was opened, he exited enthusiastically and headed right for one of our large cylindrical toys and started playing with it.
All right. Well, it does look like... I hope Facebook didn't mess this up. Should be supporters only. All right. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. So, couple rules. If somebody asks a question, let's consider a couple things. If they comment about the enclosures or compare us to another facility, let's take a step back because they may be new. And if they are new, we want to welcome them to Big Cat Rescue and show them that what kind of kick butt place we are. All right. Melissa, I'm starting to get the same feeling here. I definitely had the supporters tab checked, and
hey Vaughn, we're heading towards vacation.
I will monitor this thing and
Thank you.
yep, it's public. Darn it. All right, so we're gonna keep going around here. Yes. The Andy, yes, we are just going to say that, which it's not, it's for everyone. Darn it. Okay. All right, so here's the deal. Oh man. I'm gonna walk all the way back to my vehicle. I'm gonna set this thing up for supporters only. If you wanna watch that, simply go ahead and click on the supporters tab, and it's like $1 a month, and I will fire this thing up for supporters only. And Deb, if you're watching, I saw Big Cat Rescue pop in there. So Deb, if you're watching, I'm trying to make... All right, so who is our moderator? Let me ask you that. All right, everybody seems to be...
Hey Lauren, can you switch to 3? You done?
No, I mistakenly clicked on live all instead of supporters. So...
You're doing the whole thing?
Yeah, so I got like 500 people looking at you right now.
Oh, hi. I gotta go pick up some...
All right, cool.
Bye.
All right, so I'm getting a lot of aw-mans. People want to watch, so we'll keep going on the main page here. So again, try to stick to the rules. If somebody asks a question, it seems a little off, let's just take a step back and consider how they're asking, if they're new, things like that. So we're gonna stick around. All right. Hey, Karen. Nice to see you. Thank you for relieving Deb so she could go do her thing. Now, if you guys don't know, yesterday was Deb's birthday. So this afternoon, she's gonna be our moderator. Let's get lots of happy birthdays going for Deb, all right? And our coordinator for the day, Laura. All right, let's see if Manny's out. This is kind of a weird way to go about this. So we're gonna go kind of in a big figure 8 today. And Rochelle, welcome. Why is my phone dying? Well, maybe because you didn't plug it in, Andy. All right, I'm not seeing Manny, but there are a lot of leaves on the ground, so do keep your eye open, as he tends to be like right there. The dude kind of blends in really well. Barbara, thank you. I like to say every morning, it's nice to hear my voice too. Yep, Deb will be moderating dailybigcat.com this afternoon at noon East. So let's all get together at dailybigcat.com at noon and just blow her up with a bunch of happy birthdays. I am not seeing Manny, so let's check out his other area down here. And just so you guys know, Deb is not on right now. All right, so Manny is clearly hiding. He's been fed. Let's see if we see Jinx. Jinxie! Good morning, Dawn. Yeah, any cat will be great. The tough part is that after they're fed, it's nap time. And a lot of time, nap time means going in the den and taking a nap. And no amount of walking around will get some of these cats to come out and say hi. Which, again, is another big difference between us and the place that we were compared to earlier. Our cats aren't here for entertainment, so if they don't want to come out, they're not coming out. Which kind of makes these lives special because you're going to see something different every single time. Yes, please keep it positive. Thank you, Melissa. Now, if you didn't see that note from Melissa, oh, yeah, Susan, good point. If I have the day off, usually on a Friday, or if I have an office day like today, where I got all my paperwork done ahead of time and Bridget's coming in, I'll stop on in. We usually don't do much in the way of lives on Fridays, so, you know, if I got time, I'll come in and say hello to everybody. Now, our fundraiser for today is our general fundraiser. That goes to feed the cats and maintain the place and do everything that we need to do to keep this place running. So we're gonna make our way down to Knick Knack here and see if Nikita is out and about. She was talking earlier, holy cow. She was forcefully demanding that people come over to her now and feed her. I have a feeling that's just kind of how she is in the morning though. And here we have the wonderful Nisha doing awesome stuff. You see Knick Knack?
She is over yonder.
Over yonder. Over yonder.
She was drinking out of her bowl.
All right.
She's right there.
All right, cool. I'll make my way around over there. Yeah, dailybigcat.com, Elizabeth. That's where Bridget and I go live. That's where you'll see the Catterday walkabouts. So like on Saturdays. Yes, Mindy. See, we're catching on, guys. So just because you ask a question, if we might take it as being negative right off the bat, because people have seen Tiger King and they have these assumptions, and you got to remember, when things are produced, sometimes they're just produced for pure entertainment, and the story gets incredibly skewed. So I do not see a Nikita over here. Maybe I do. Oh yeah, there she is. Knick Knack. Now on the camera I can't zoom in, so I'll try to get her as centered up as possible, but here's the story of Nikita.
Nikita was found when she was a year old in a crack house during a drug bust in Tennessee. She was chained to the wall with a short chain on a concrete floor, so she got no exercise and arrived here with huge swellings on her elbows that took months to heal. She was so thin that you could carry her under one arm. In addition to being underfed, she had not had a proper diet, so she had a plethora of nutritional issues to deal with as well. The authorities took her to the Nashville Zoo at Grassmere, but she had been declawed and could not live with the zoo's other lions. Big Cat Rescue agreed to take Nikita in, as well as 3 bobcats that all arrived in 2001. At age 5, she had become a tall, healthy adult lioness, but remained very lanky because she was a picky eater. That changed when our financial support grew to a point where we could afford the expensive ground meat specially designed carnivore diet we now use. Nikita loved it and filled out quickly to the 500-pound lioness you see today. When Nikita was younger, she was extremely playful and loved to roll on her back and grab her paws or try to do somersaults whenever visitors stopped by to talk with her. Now in her senior years, we still occasionally observe a slow roll onto her back for visitors.
Yep, so there's the queen. Hi, Nikki. All right, keep moving along here. So we're gonna go over vacation now. Let's see, do they like cat toys? All right, so awesome question from Amorous. And so, Amorous applied to Amorous. Interesting. I will show you some toys as we go along. The weather today, well, I feel bad commenting on the weather because I know up north, I saw somebody post it's negative 27 up there. I am so sorry. But the weather right now is actually beautiful. It's probably high 70s, but we got some rain over the past few days, so it's like 70 and muggy. I guess I really shouldn't be complaining because some of you are way up north right now and it's not so beautiful. To me, I'd love it. I love the snow. Mainly driving in it, doing donuts and things that I shouldn't do.
Can Aria have full access to her enclosure? Thank you.
Ah, sunglasses. Forgot the sunglasses. All right, so we're coming up on our 2.5 acre vacation rotation enclosure. This enclosure is monstrous. This is an enclosure that most animals don't receive. And so, let's see. So, and what I mean by that is that if you go to other places, you don't see something quite like this. This is a really special area for our cats here. So each one of them in rotation will get a week or maybe more out here at a time. And they absolutely love it. So there's places to hide out here. There's a big lake out there that gets monstrously huge around hurricane season. Takes up like half of this and the tigers eat it right up. There's platforms, all sorts of really cool stuff out there. 22 degrees, ugh. Arizona at 70, that actually sounds beautiful. 70 and dry. Okay, so let me give you a walkthrough, if you don't know already, how we get the cats around the sanctuary. So I'm gonna have to put some stuff down here, so just bear with me. And with a little luck, nobody will drive by and run over the camera. So maybe we can place it here. Maybe. And there we go. All right, cool. So, I hope you can still hear me. So in order to get out to vacation, there's a couple things that we have to do. First off, we got to get the cat out there. Here's how we do it. We go ahead and we have these tunnel systems. Starts over here, and it weaves its way all the way through to attach to other enclosures. Now, when it's a cat's turn to get out onto vacation, what we'll do is we will make sure only that cat has access to this enclosure and can't get anywhere close to any of the other enclosures. Then, the cat will come out onto here, and if you haven't seen the inside of the tunnel yet, there's an awesome video up on YouTube. You can find it there. It's on, I think, dailybigcat.com. And so they come through here, and the smart ones will stop every so often and just sit there. And then we'll come over with whatever food they need or want to get out to vacation. Many times when we open the door, they just run right through. They know the good stuff is on the other side. But we'll close this area right here and make it one solid tunnel so the cat can only go out. You see, we don't want to put our cats in something like a circus enclosure or a rolling cage, just because it's not, well, first off, it's not very nice. A lot of times it kind of freaks them out. So we try to stay away from that if we can. So let me get you back on my head here. Camera situated. There we go. And we're off. All right, now where do my comments go? There we go. My camera is about almost a solid minute behind the actual broadcast, so I gotta make sure that it's not all weird. All right. Lori, let's be nice. Us people in the warm weather should not be bragging that we're walking around in shorts and sandals and t-shirts and that anybody has the ability to freely move and transfer work whenever they can, but they usually don't. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm rambling now. Chicken nuggets are awesome. Vegan chicken nuggets, which I was receiving that day, you know, let's just say when they get cold, then you can definitely tell the difference. It loses its chickenness. Hey, Kimba. All right, so it looks like we have Kimba here. I'm not going to stick around long. Kimba's had a hard life, so. No, we definitely do not sell cats. So, you know what? This is a great segue. Why don't we buy and sell cats? Well, first off, we're a sanctuary. We are a 501c3. Your donations help us support this place. But on the other end of that, when you go ahead and you buy a cat, the cat has to live in captivity its whole life. We are 100% against captive breeding and that sort of thing. And I will finish up in just a second because there's somebody gorgeous waiting for us. And again, don't go jumping on people. That was Rob, they were vegan. Nice, Daniel.
Sapphire is a female white tiger who was born approximately 2010. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015. Her owner had received many federal law violations for improper care of the cats without consequence. But when he failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio law that just required decent caging and registering the animals, the Ohio Department of Agriculture seized the cats and sent Sapphire and 3 other cats to us so that they would receive proper care for the rest of their lives. When you hear people say they are breeding white tigers to preserve the species, that is a lie. There is no species of white tiger. The white coat is actually a genetic defect that often carries with it other defects like poor vision. In addition, white tigers in this country all descend from one white tiger brought to this country in 1960 and are horribly inbred, resulting in more genetic flaws. Sapphire is no exception. She is severely cross-eyed, a very common defect. This causes her to sometimes attack her own back legs, likely thinking another tiger is behind her.
All right, so, yep, Sapphire has been playing in the mud. And if you're wondering, and Justin, I hope you're still there because you asked the question earlier, it looks like Sapphire has a small enclosure. Sapphire's enclosure is not only here, but it's this big area here. And then she has another monstrous area way back there. So I'll show you more of that in just a little bit. But the topic kept coming up about touching and buying cats and things like that. Let me tell you why we don't, or we, well, we're completely 100% against owning a cat like this. All right. So I did this little explanation last week. I'm going to do it again because it seemed to be pretty effective. Let me show you Khan's ball. I'm gonna take this thing off my head here real quick so you can get an idea of the size of this. There we go. And sorry, that's the inside. Hey, okay, I'm out of here. All right, so I'm gonna get over here and reset because I had to grab it all and move. Ugh. Yeah. What's up? All right, so we're gonna keep moving along here. Bridget's trying to get a hold of me about something. Okay, so let's talk pacing real quick. Sometimes pacing is a form of stress, okay? In this example, with Sapphire, not so much. Actually, she's incredibly interested about what's going on over there. So right now, Bonnie's over there, and Keeper Bonnie, and also Kimba. So she's excited to know what's going on over there. It's kind of like your cat. If you were to shut them in a different room, they would just simply go ahead and try to, well, get out, but they're trying to figure it out. And so that's kind of what's going on now. All right, I'm gonna try to get on by because Bridget's trying to get my attention here. Not here, not here, not here. What's going on, Bridge? Oh.
There's an Aria girl right over here.
There's an Aria girl over here.
Yeah.
I have to pop the battery in this thing so it doesn't...
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. I just didn't think he would be so angry with me.
Did you look at him directly?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I was hooking the camera up to something. You want me to hand you the camera?
No, I have to clean.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why you called me over.
I'm letting you know that she's here.
Oh, yeah, she is back there. Okay, so in the middle of your screen, you may see Aria way in the back.
You can see Jordan back there cleaning.
And you can see Jordan.
I'm gonna go clean. I'll see you later.
All right, cool. I'll see you in a bit. So all the way in the back, that little dot back there. Okay, so I'm gonna hit on that from BRD. When it does come to stress, if you spend enough time around these animals and they're in stressful situations, they'll do some pacing. If they're interested, they'll also do that. So it's not necessarily always a stress thing. This is one of those, you gotta trust us, we're around these guys every single day. So, do I have Aria's story in this? I just updated this and I do not. So anyways, Aria's in the dead center back, Amanda's off to the right. So I'm gonna keep moving along and we'll see what we can, who else we can find. And after the Kimba scare, my camera is falling down my face. All right, so time to reset the camera. There we go, that's better. And as you can see, Sapphire's right on. No stress, she's cool. Hey, Bonnie.
You can't get me all riled up.
I got yelled at. All right, so if you're not familiar with Kimba, Kimba's kind of had a hard go. Kimba doesn't like men. Kimba has also had a fairly tough beginning of his life before he got here. And the thing is that Kimba came from an underground zoo in Guatemala where their way of going about things was to simply just beat a metal pipe. And there's videos online, you can take a look if you want to see it. But one of the things is that we try to keep our distance from a few of the cats. At least I do. Like Amanda, I typically don't go by. Kimba, I try to stay away from. Just because when it comes to those cats and men, they get a little agitated. And so Kimba was looking a little calm, so I tried to hook the camera up to one of the posts, and he was not having any of that. Kim gets it. I'm glad you got a kick out of it, Nor. All right, so this is the other side of Sapphire's enclosure. So she's got a bunch of bubbles. We call them bubbles over there. And then we can connect them and disconnect them depending upon what we're doing. And then she has this big area right through here where she can run, play. Usually she sunbathes back here. She falls down in the tall grass. So, guys, you see what happens when we're nice to everybody? Make some friends, right? Hi, Jazzy Girl. Jazzy Girl is in heat. Jazzy Girl is randomly happy, randomly cranky, randomly sleepy. So, right now, Jazzy Girl's in heat. And it looks like somebody came in and mowed down all of her plants. What happened to all of your plants? Did you go crazy, go nuts, and just like devour half of them? All right, let's play some audio on Jazzy Girl.
Jasmine is a female tiger whose age is unknown. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015, being confiscated by the Department of Agriculture, along with 9 other cats from the owner who failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio Dangerous Animals Law that just required decent caging and registering the animals. Big Cat Rescue volunteered to provide a permanent home for Jasmine, and 3 of the other big cats and other sanctuaries took in the remaining 6 cats. Jasmine is a happy tiger known for making unique sounds which make her keepers laugh. Like all tigers, Jasmine loves the water. She really enjoys being showered with a hose during hot afternoons at the sanctuary, and she is a star at operant conditioning.
So there's the story on Jasmine, and Jasmine looks like she's laying in a, just a dirt area of her enclosure, and she kind of is. But her enclosure looks like it's had some serious maintenance done. There's a lot of overgrowth in here, so looks like they chopped everything down. And trust me, being in Florida, all it needs to do is rain, and in 1 week, this thing will be exploding with more greenery again. And we'll leave it like that for a long time. She likes to run through those weeds. So let's see. So here's my question, Andy. Elizabeth, no, I won't. I'm pretty good about leaving Big Cat Rescue at Big Cat Rescue, but if it was something where he like seriously scared me, yeah, I'd probably talk about it, or at least keep me awake a little bit. And let's see, it looks like Kali is sleeping, so we're gonna let Kali sleep. Figure out a new solution for this camera. So one of the reasons that I got away from Kimba so quick is because we have kind of a big rule here, kind of a rule of any place that calls himself a sanctuary. We try to make it the most peaceful place that we can for the cats. Again, we're not here for entertainment. We're not here to make money off the back of the cats. We are a nonprofit. Our job is to go out, get the cats that need the rescuing, that need the medical assistance that we can provide, that need a good home, and give that to them. So, what happened here? Oh, go away. So when it comes to, Kimba yelling at me, it is what it is. Get away from it and let Kimba settle down. All right, so we're gonna go down a small cat area real quick. What time we got here? All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go through the small cat area real quick, down several rows. So blast on through here. And here's Kimba's usual home. Kimba's usually right now on vacation. but his usual home is this big long area right here that has many bubbles, works its way on through. So he gets a rather large space in his totally awesome pool. Jamie and Victor built that just before he got here. Maybe just after he got here. Anyways, around the time he got here. And let's see, and my radio's dying. Sorry, you might hear some beeping. All right, so the donation button for today is programmed to go to our general fund. So that goes to food and medical and paying for the gas for the weed eaters and the lawnmowers and new buckets and scraper poles and basically everything that we need to run the sanctuary. So if you have a couple extra bucks or a buck, right? Everything goes right back to Big Cat Rescue. So if you want to have the warm and fuzzies today, knowing that you did something awesome for somebody else, just go ahead and click that supporter button there. Help us, help you, and continue doing what we do. That I don't know, Barbie. I don't know the status of that. All right, so now we are looking for servals. They're small, they blend in very well with the leaves. So let's see if we see anybody. Need to write Kimba a thank you note later. All my cables are messed up around my head. Oh, I love that question. What do we do with the cats during a hurricane? Okay, so the large cats have an open area up top, so their enclosures, some of them won't have an area up there, and so won't have any caging up there. Reason is large cats aren't very good climbers at all. So what we'll do is we'll lock the large cats in their what we call their roofed section, so a section that has a roof on it. So if something like a tree is to fall on there, they're gonna be safe. All right. Now we build all of our enclosures with this bubble shape. You'll see that none of them are square. The reason for that is that it's actually much stronger if something like a tree is to fall on it. Now it's not unheard of. We have had a tree fall on the enclosures before, and they do withstand a lot of weight. So when it does come to that, that's worked out really, really well for us. Now, smaller cats, we'll lock them in a smaller section, and it's where they can be safe and they have their den for protection, things like that. All of our, and thank you for donating, all of our enclosures, like, well, the dens, like you can see here, they're raised up. So if you look around the outside, you'll see how we kind of have a trench through this area here where we've been walking, so we can take care of the cats. But this area will flood with water here. This area will stay fairly dry, and then even the dens lifted up a little bit. So we try to make all of our dens a little bit higher up off the ground so they're not getting flooded when we do get hurricanes. Yes, and if you don't have a supporter account and you want to do that, the $12 that you spend on a supporter account will go ahead and get you a lot of extra content that we produce. Got the cat doing some cleaning back there. Karen, I did not know that we had a link for that. And thank you for your donation. All right, looks like we have Nabisco. Nabisco is snoozing. Go ahead and play Nabisco's audio. Now, if you can't find Nabisco, he's on the platform right over here.
The male bobcat Nabisco is the youngest and smallest of the 6 cats rescued from Spirit of the Hills, a sanctuary in South Dakota that had their USDA license revoked due to poor conditions there. Nabisco was born in May 2016 and arrived at Big Cat Rescue in October of the same year when he was only about 6 months old. In late June 2016, lightning started a forest fire a few miles from Spirit of the Hills. The fire raged for 10 days, burning over 2,500 acres. Nabisco was found during the fire and brought to Spirit of the Hills. He was introduced to our Florida bobcat, Mrs. Claus, in December 2016, and they quickly became best of friends.
All right, and so since then, man, that was in 2016, wow. So since then, Nabisco has moved out of living with Mrs. Claus. They kind of had their little falling out there. And so we separated them for a little while. Flint came into the picture, and he and Flint became very fast friends. And we built them a little tunnel, which I'll show you right now. And with that little tunnel, it gave us the ability to monitor them with a divider in the tunnel to see, you know, if they would become friends. And as it turned out over time, they did. Right, and so we opened up the barricade inside the tunnel, and they love each other. They're real good friends. Now, right now, they're on two opposite ends of the enclosure. Nabisco likes to sleep a bunch, and Flint likes to do his kittenish self and run around like a crazy kitten. Hey, buddy. How you doing? And my app didn't update with Flint's audio, so I don't have any audio on Flint. But many of you that are watching know Flint's tail. Get it? Flint's tail. What's going on, bud? Now, somebody in here posted a link to something about training cats or something along those lines. We do not train our cats to do tricks. We, again, are not a circus. We don't encourage that at all. Actually, we encourage everybody to text CATS to 52886 and ask your representatives to please support the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Big Cat Public Safety Act traveled further than it ever has been through Congress this past session, and we're hoping to keep that momentum rolling. And so we think we have a really good shot this year of getting it passed. So please, when you get a chance, text CATS to 52886 and help us support ending the private ownership of these large cats. Now, why would we want to end the private ownership of large cats? A couple of reasons. I just walked on Serval Row. Nearly all of those cats were somebody's pet at some point in time. And that being said, if those are the cats that we've received, that means that there's plenty of other cats that are either stuck in somebody's house in inappropriate conditions, and I can explain that in a minute, and essentially being abused by their environment or not being properly fed, or the list goes on and on and on. And then when it comes to the other things, as far as owning, let's say, like a tiger in your home, well, a lot of states don't tell you that you have to register that cat. It's not, I mean, you got to register your dog, and sometimes you even need to register your house cat. But apparently you don't need to register a tiger in some states. And then on top of that, you're putting your neighbors at risk. So imagine you have, right, your kid running around the backyard, and your neighbor hasn't told you, but they got a 300-pound tiger on the other side of the fence. Right? Many places don't have regulations as to, you know, the enclosure or anything like that. And your child's running around the backyard, well, we are part of the food chain, and that is something that we need to consider. So please, 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 text CATS to 52886 and help us out here. All right. So here is Gilligan. Now, if you don't know where Gilligan is underneath the ramp. It's one of his favorite places to just crash. All right, so Gilligan, where's your audio, buddy? There it is.
Gilligan is a male Canada lynx. Approximate date of birth, January 1st, 2007. Rescued May 5th, 2013. Gilligan's age is unknown. He was purchased along with Skipper at an auction. Gilligan had the tiniest cage, measuring 5 by 7. It was also the dirtiest of all the cages. The mud floor was not mud, but feces covered with a sprinkling of straw. It appeared as though Gilligan had tried to keep much of his waste confined to one area on top of his plastic doghouse. He had perched atop the house day after day to defecate. The large pile of feces cascaded out the side of his cage. It was clear that his cage had not been cleaned in several months. Strewn about the cage were bits of meat, bones, and fur. The doghouse was too small for Gilligan to fit in, and other than a small child's play picnic table, he had nowhere to escape the weather. He was forced to sleep in the open and surrounded by filth. Because Gilligan's cage was so small, there was not enough room for big cat rescuers to enter it with nets and a crate. So using wire that they had brought, they constructed a secondary enclosure to the door and inside placed the crate filled with soft, dry hay. Gilligan was unsure about this new crate, and despite its appeal of warmth and dryness, he refused to enter it. He was left to contemplate entering the crate on his own, while big cat rescuers moved on to try and catch Skipper. After Skipper was captured and carried to the big cat rescue trailer, Gilligan had still refused to enter the crate. With no other options, he was sedated with a blow dart. He quickly fell asleep, and Dr. Justin did a full exam. After the exam, he was gently placed in the crate and given the reversal agent for the tranquilizer. When he awoke, he was in a soft bed of hay, being loaded into the trailer for his long trip back to Tampa. Gilligan seems absolutely blissful in his new enclosure. In his first days, he constantly sniffed all around, soaking in the fresh air. He was also quite amazed with the wildlife that abounds at the sanctuary, from cardinals to lizards to squirrels. He is very observant and intently watches as they flit and scurry about.
Pamela, I saw that. He's your sponsor, Cat. Thank you for sponsoring Gilligan. You can go to bigcatrescue.biz if you'd like to sponsor one of our cats. Denominations are fairly inexpensive if you want to sponsor a cat, all the way to, well, if you want to go crazy, we allow you to. So I like the whoo that somebody put in there. But yeah, some of the stories are not, actually most of the stories are not the greatest. Some of these cats comes from some pretty terrible situations, and Gilligan was one of them, and he's one of the reasons that, we want to get this Big Cat Public Safety Act passed. When people have these cats, they look at the size of the animal and they think to themselves, oh yeah, I can maintain that, that's just fine, right? It's small enough. Well, the smaller the cat, and I'm definitely not advocating getting a tiger, but here's the deal. When it comes to the smaller the cat, the fiercer the personality. They gotta fight harder than all the other animals to get to their food. Well, that personality sticks, and when people say, oh yeah, we only sell F5 Savannah cats, you know what that tells me? That tells me that my cat that has the zoomies every 5 seconds, that destroys every other toy that I give her, still has these innate tendencies that are built into her to destroy things. And if you're going to tell me, well, you have an F5 Savannah cat and apparently it is domesticated, that's 5 generations down, which means that cat's nowhere domesticated. And when we take a look at domestication, it takes many thousands of generations to get to that point, where, let's say, from wolf to dog, right? And even your household cat, they're still built to kill. That's kind of their deal. So, and then as you get to larger animals, their muscle structure gets bigger, they become stronger, and when they want to, well, they can dispatch you pretty quickly. All right, so who's around here? I don't see Mrs. Claus. And over here. Who's over here? Hey, thank you for the time, Pam. That's super helpful. All right, so keep going for around another 5 minutes here, and then we're gonna take a break. And then at noon, we'll be live on dailybigcat.com. Tutters, hi, man. You probably can't see Tut. He's on the ground between a few trees way back there. I can't go back there, so we won't be going back there. But King Tut got an awesome bit of enrichment for this Valentine's Day. Look at this thing. Tutter's Catastic Casual Crash Pad. Now, Tutters is not somebody who is going to go ahead and beat these things up very much. At least he usually doesn't. So he'll probably lay in that, and he'll love that thing. All right, so let me check comments here. Your cat kills spoons. Well, that's an interesting one. I wonder, so what's the story there, Kathy? Okay. All right. So we're gonna make our way over to Duchess and Priya. Somebody said they wanted to have some Priya time, so let's see if we can even see Priya. Priya is the ultimate in lounger, so a lot of times we just can't see her, but at least we get a good look at Tiger Lake here. So this morning, if you hop on explore.org and you take a look at Duchess's enclosure, I think it was maybe around 8:45, maybe a little earlier. She was in there jumping around and playing with her balls and you know, having a grand old time. So here's Tiger Lake. If you're new to Big Cat Rescue and you haven't really spent much time with us before, Tiger Lake is broken in half, or rather, like, wherever we were able to get the stakes into the ground, but it's essentially broken in half. So over here we have Duchess, and over here we have Priya. Now, what's the deal? The thing is, tigers love water. They're one of the few cats in the animal kingdom that absolutely love water. So we have tons of video of Duchess and Priya down here, you know, getting wet, swimming, splashing each other through the fence. They've become really good friends. So as far as this goes, the water itself goes up and down because it's obviously part of our pond, which we call Tiger Lake. And they throw their toys in it. We actually have an Anheuser push keg in there, which they play with. So cool stuff. And I see a fish, but I don't see a Priya tiger. And then here's the other side of Tiger Lake. Man, it is peaceful today. Stay here for a minute so you guys can all see this. Janet, from what I hear, Pharaoh's doing okay. So from this side of Tiger Lake, if you were to, let's say, well, be where I am with Priya and Duchess behind me, we have Sheena over here, I think, Simba, Kali, Jasmine, and then Sapphire. And then Stony, Swanda, and Swanee. So, time to talk Big Cat Public Safety Act. Please text CATS to 52886. We will be needing your help for the Big Cat Public Safety Act. So let me play you some audio, and I'll show you some things as we go along.
Today you've heard story after story of these magnificent animals being abused or abandoned. They're estimated to be 10 to 20,000 big cats, mostly living in deplorable conditions in private hands. These animals belong in the wild, not in backyards and roadside zoos. The laws that claim to ensure a humane existence for these animals just don't work. As one example, the USDA rule for the minimum space for a tiger cage is what you see on the sign on this circus wagon. Make normal postural and social adjustments with adequate freedom of movement. With this rule language, the owner of a tiger doesn't know how big a cage has to be. And an inspector, many of whom are veterinarians and really do care about the animals, doesn't know when to cite someone for too small a cage. So almost no one ever gets cited, and tigers spend their entire lives in tiny, concrete-floored prison cells. Florida does specify how big the cage has to be, and is one of the more generous state laws. In Florida, you can keep two 500-pound tigers in a 10 by 24-foot space, like this memorial plaque area, slightly bigger than a parking spot, on a concrete slab. This would be like keeping your domestic cat in a 3-foot-long dog carrier for their entire life. The only way to stop this abuse is a federal ban on private ownership. It's not often in our daily lives that we get to do something that really makes a difference, but you can today. We have a federal bill that would end private ownership and the abuse of cub petting. The bill will pass if members of Congress hear that enough of their constituents care about this issue. We make it very easy to do. If you are a United States resident and you have a cell phone, please take it out now. To show support for the Big Cat Public Safety Act and urge your elected officials to do the same, text CATS to 52886. Message and data rates may apply. You'll receive an automated response containing a link to our campaign page. Click the link and follow the prompts to make the call of the wild today before you leave the sanctuary. Our goal is to get the bill passed before the next plaque marking the death of one of the mistreated cats you met today goes up on this memorial wall. If you are willing, this call is the most meaningful thing you can do to help us stop the mistreatment of these amazing animals that deserve so much better. Last, thank you very much for coming to visit us today and for supporting the cats with your tour purchases, donations, and calls to Congress. Does anyone have any questions before we go inside?
Not seeing Priya. So, anywho, please go ahead, grab your cell phone, text cats to 52886. And Danielle, thank you very much. The bill, if you want to mention it, is HR 263. And just let them know politely to please co-sponsor the bill. I know many of us may not be huge fans of our representatives, but the whole rule of you get more flies with honey tends to apply with us. So please, 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 do be nice and send them a message. Yeah, I think Priya's sleeping. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end the broadcast here, and we will be back on the dailybigcat.com at noon. All right. So as far as that goes, head on over there, and I will talk to you all a little bit later. Thanks for coming.